Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Divya SINGH'S Socio Lab. So class 9th students, be ready. Your most awaited chapter, that is Early Humans and Beginning of Civilization. We are going to start today. Okay, so students, I have divided this chapter into 3 parts. Okay, so today is part 1. So in this chapter, basically we are going to study about our early ancestors. Okay, so let's start. I'm sharing my screen with all of you now. I hope my screen is visible to all my students. Okay. So now this is what I told that we are going to start chapter 4, Early Humans and Beginning of Civilization. So this is our part 1. Okay. Let's start. So this is our first slide. So children, now if we want history about something, okay, so nowadays just we google or we search and full history will appear, full writings will appear. But can you imagine how was the period when there was no writing? Okay, so students, there were different periods of development of writing. Okay, and one of the earliest known writing system is associated with the Sindhu Saraswati civilization, also known as Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization. Okay, so children, basically the Harappans were using pictographic script for writing. So basically it is like picture based. So you can see the picture over the top where the like that's how the Harappan script used to be like. Okay, that was also called Sindhu Lipi. Okay, and now the earliest writing systems, they are also associated with some other scripts like cuneiform, that is the script by Sumerians, and also here we have hieroglyphic. Okay, that is the script of Egyptians. So I have put all the images, please see over the top. Okay, you can see the images. So they were the early forms of writing. They were like the archaeological evidence of our early ancestors. Okay, now children, as I told in the starting, we have to imagine the period how it was before writing and how it was after writing. Students, you will be surprised to know 99% of the human history was written before writing. Can you imagine? 99% of the human history was written like before the writing was introduced. Like our human history falls under that. So 99% of the human history falls under the category when there was no writing. Okay, and now after writing, only 1% of the history we have which was emerged when writing was introduced. So my simple point I want to clear is 99% of the human history was there before writing, and 1% of the human history came when after writing. Okay, now students, if I speak about the main sources of reconstruction when writing was not there, before writings, the main sources of reconstructions were the tools, implements and other objects which you can see on screen. But when writing came, the main sources became like the material remains and the written documents. Okay, now children, if you see when there was no writing, how was the life of the people? So first of all children, it was very difficult to understand the thoughts and ideas of the people when writing was not there. But when writing came, it became very easy to understand the thoughts of the people because we were having like literature. We have written documents. So we used to know that what the person is trying to tell. Okay. So this is very important. And now students, you see, when writing is not there today, you all know in 1947 this happened, 1915 this happened. You, because you have all date time, you have the knowledge of the time when this happened because we have written records. But when writing was not there, it was very difficult to do measurement of time. Okay, it was all approximate. Okay, so now when writing came, we were having the exact analysis of the dates. Okay, and they were quite accurate. Okay, so this was the period before writing. But you should know very properly which were the different writing scripts introduced. So Harappan script was called Sindhu Lipi, and Sumerian script was cuneiform, and Egyptian script was hieroglyphic. Okay, so now children, let's go to the next slide. Students, who were our human ancestors? Okay, so this is what we should know. Okay, so first of all, if we speak about who were our human ancestor, we should know where they were, from where they came, from where our human ancestors came. Okay, so it has been noticed that our early ancestors evolved in Africa, and they spread across the old world in waves of migration. It began around 2 million years ago. Okay, so here students, we have the different categories like how our ancestors emerged. Okay, so the first category is called Homo habilis. Okay, so they were like handyman. They were from Olduvai Gorge. Okay, and they were from the places Tanzania and Kenya. Okay, children, and they were the one who started using copper tools. They were the one who started using copper tools. Okay, so then came students. I have mentioned everywhere the clear images so that you'll understand the concept well. The second category came is the Homo erectus. They were the first group of people to leave Africa basically 2 million years ago, and they used to make hand axes and cleavers, and they reached Asia and Europe. Then the next category was Homo neanderthalensis. Okay, they used to live in Europe and Southwest Asia until around 4,000 years ago. Okay, and they used to make middle Paleolithic flake tools. Okay, so I have put the image of the tools also, what kind of tools they used to make. And now the current one are the Homo sapiens. We evolved in Africa around, you can see here, the 3 lakh years ago, and we developed complex technology, the only surviving human species. Okay, so children, now here you can see the down image where you can see the skulls, right? That is the evolution of the timeline. Okay, so the skulls, these are the skulls of the early humans and modern human, showing the evolutionary sequence from Homo habilis to Homo sapiens. Okay, and also you can see the evolution of the tools as well. Okay, so this is clearly mentioned. So children, I want to tell one thing. This is a little tricky chapter. In case if you face any doubt, please write in the comment section. Okay, now I'll take you to the next slide. Period of early human history. So these are the different periods which we are going to understand now. The first one is Paleolithic period, which is also called Old Stone Age period, students. And students, each ages has their own different stone tools or iron tools or metal tools, depend upon the ages. So now we are starting first with the Paleolithic age, which is also called Old Stone Age. So student, this age is mostly dependent on hunting and gathering, and they used to use very simple tools like hand axe and cleaver. So you can see the image on screen. The next age is Mesolithic, and it is also called transitional phase, where the early ancestors used to use microlithic tools. They are very tiny used. They are very tiny tools. Basically, they are used for these tools because they are little sharp. So they used to use for aquatic animals that time. Okay. So microlithic, they are very tiny stone tools, and you can see they're little sharp compared to the Paleolithic tools. Okay. Then came the Neolithic Stone Age. Neolithic Stone Age is also called New Stone Age, where there was a proper shift. It was a shift from hunting and gathering to agriculture and settled life, and also there was domestication of animals also that time, and they used to use very polished tools. Okay, so you can see the image on screen. the polished stone tools which the Neolithic age people were using. Then came the Chalcolithic age. Okay, so this is more of a copper age. Okay, where the tools were mostly made of copper. Okay, it was like copper used alongside stone tools. Okay, so that is about the Chalcolithic age. Now came the Bronze Age. It was also called Metal Age, where the most of the bronze tools and ornaments were used. Okay, then the last was the Iron Age. Okay, they used to use all the tools which are made of iron, and they used to make all the weapons by using iron. So these are the different stone ages, and which you should know, these are the different periods in our early human history. Okay, so student, these were the main topics for today, and in the next class I'm going to start in detail about the Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, and Neolithic age. Okay, so children, I would like to say thank you to all of you, and I would like to tell you very important thing. In case if you have not understood anything, I want you to write in the comment section so that I'll re-explain those topics. Okay, so children, wait for the next part, which is going to be live soon. Till then, stay tuned, stay connected, and don't forget to subscribe my channel, Divya Singhi's Social Lab. Thank you.